It is continue, yes. You're going to hit continue or me to hit continue? I'm going to hit continue here. All right, so currently I've got on screen a picture of, on not my Vice screen, my other computer screen. I've got a picture from Rivulet Fly, which is Simon Ellis. He's a member down here. He introduced me to this pattern, and I've caught a few nice brim on it, and I can assure you he's caught a lot more than me. So I'll just get out of sharing screen and go back to my normal screen. Okay, so the fly in my Vice at the moment is my version. Just trying to get the light so it's not too bright on it. Might be better if I tie without a light. How's that better? Give you more focus. All right. So what we're tying tonight is called Martin's Minnow. I'm using an Arex FW550 in a jig hook size 6 or 4. I'm tying on a 4 tonight, it's a little bit bigger. So you need to get, I don't think these hooks are in our local store in Hobart. So if, just to plug a local businessman that's online with us tonight, Brett's got plenty in stock. You look up BWC flies. I'm pretty sure that's where I got these from.
Thanks, Craig. Appreciate it.
No worries, mate. So I start off, the fibres we're using tonight are EP fibres, and I think this is just out of H2O sculpting fibres. These have got a little bit of natural flash in them. That's going to be the top wing, which is a navy blue, probably better shot there. And this will be the body, which is what they call a bleeding mackerel. It's a bit of a grey, blue, bit of red with a bit of red and purple through it, which I like. Followed by the shoulders, which are brown, just an EP fibre brown, and a little bit of orange in the throat, EP fibres, just to give it a throat. And you will need some UV resin, and that's what I haven't got out. I've got to get my orange out. So I also use UV resin in orange and or red, and we need some holographic 3D eyes. They're 4mm in size, so I might as well get into it. I'm using a red thread. You can use an orange. Okay, so just tie the bead on and spot. And I don't use a lot of thread down the hook. I use probably the maximum thread down the hook is 4mm. I need enough thread base there to tie in the eye. Okay, everyone can see that okay. Do I need light on that or not? I might do it low light. How's that? That better?
Good. That's good, mate.
Okay, so what I'm going to tie in first is a length of the bleeding mackerel. Now, the other body material you can use is EP fibres in ocean grey or a light grey, up to you. This forms the belly of the pattern. I'll use about, say, start with about 50mm. Just cut off a nice little piece. And then what I'm going to do from there is just rolling it in my fingers, just trying to get it into a bit of a taper, just pulling it out and stretching it. So you get a bit of a body taper in that.
You want to put your fingers down in front of it, that's it.
Yep, sorry. Just as you roll it, just bring your fingers out. It just pulls it out into a bit of a taper. Doesn't need to be perfect because we can adjust later. Done all that, little cigar. And I use it about 2 times the hook shank. So when I tie it in, I'm looking to wrap it around the shank of the hook. So I usually put just a couple of loose turns on it and then get my thumb into it and work it so the body material comes down around the hook. which you can tie it, you know, just on layers. You can put that on the bottom, then you throw it on the bottom, then put 2 layers on the top. But I just find that technique just gets your materials just down around the hook, and it spreads it out. It spreads it out a little bit more, gives you a bit more of a balanced appearance. Once you're happy with that, tie it off and trim off. It's a fairly simple pattern. It's not too, doesn't take a lot to tie it. The harder bit is down the track when we're getting into just tying in the setting up the UV head basically. So same again, I just use a little bit of orange in the throat. Not a lot, just a little bit. And this is only just to give it a bit of an accent. You don't need to worry about tapering this so much. About a hook length, shank length, I suppose. Couple of turns. If people are tying along and I'm going too quick, tell me to slow down. That's fine. And again with the top wing, measure it out so it's probably about 5 to 8 mils longer than your belly section. Trim that off. And from here, I invert the hook the other way up. Tie it in. A few stragglers there. Bear with me. And for the top wing, the blue or sculpting UV peacock in blue is what I'm using. Just a very thin portion just to go along the top line to give you that dark line across the top.
I've just got a still picture of your hand.
Yeah, my hands are moving on my photo. On my screen, Laurie, you might have a bit of a freeze.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good at this end, Laurie.
Right, and that's basically it for your winging materials. So just tidy up the head. I'm just trying to get an even base. Put my eyes on. I should have mentioned I'm using UTC 140 in red as my thread. Finish it off. Okay. What I like to do from here is I'm going to turn the fly on its side a little bit. I just like to put a little headset on where I'm going to put the eyes just to catch the eyes and hold them in place while I get them in place and pull out the resin. Now, the reason I said about 4 mil of behind the eyes, I like to put the eye behind the bead, and given that this is a 4.6 mil tungsten bead, you don't want to be trying to rest it over the outside of the bead because it's going to make your head too big. I just bring it in behind the bead. Who's making all the noise? Okay. I'm just going to give that a couple of seconds just to set a little bit. I'm using the UV that I'm using is Raid Zap Thin. So I'm just going to come in just underneath between the eyes, just a little drop. Not too much. This is just to start setting the eyes in place. I'm going to need a UV torch. There it is. And again, I'm going to do the same thing from the top. It'll be cold down here tonight. Doesn't want to come out of the end. Is that right? So the red thread, you can see it. I'm going to put some UV orange on the bottom, but you can see the red thread from the top. So you've got orange and red in there as triggers, which seems to work quite well. This fly, when I went down and met up with Simon on the edge of the Derwent one day, he fishes it very slowly, or basically very little movement. He throws it out into a little bit of tidal flow, lets it sink down to the bottom. And as you can imagine, being a 4.6 mil bead, it sinks fairly well on a floating line. And he then just lets it sit for about 10 seconds. Doesn't touch it, just lets it sit for about 10 seconds. Then he'll just give it a couple of slow strips and lets it sit again for 10 seconds. And the brim tend to pick it up off the bottom and just run with it. Usually fairly solid hits. Okay, on the bottom, I'm coming in with a bit of Gulf UV Ambulance Orange. Well, you can see that. I've used the Loon in the orange, and I've used this. I think this by far is a lot brighter when you put a torch on it. Just bear with me a minute. This is going to take a bit to come down the tube. As far as that cold up there, Brett.
What was that? Sorry?
Wouldn't be that cold up there. The UV would flow fairly easy, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. No, this time of year it's still a little bit challenging, but sure it's not as challenging as what it is there.
Yeah, well, I'm sitting out in my shed, so the heater hasn't warmed everything up yet. So
the boys up at Lower Weenie on Sunday night had -7.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bloody cold.
-7 to 14, a 21-degree turnaround.
There we go.
I do agree with your comments with the brightness of the UV as well. It tends to be some common feedback that I get particularly.
Yeah, it kills the Loon stuff. I thought when I had the Loon before, it was fairly mundane.
Yeah, I don't know whether whether the Loon bottle actually needs a really good stir up to get the like the chemicals inside all mixed up, but the Gulf stuff seems to be excellent. You know, just straight out of the bottle.
So all I'm doing with that is just a little bit on the underneath the eyes. Just as you can see from the, well, it's a bit hard to see it, but take the light off, you might be able to see it better. You see the orange in between the eyes. It's a bit of an accent. Just another trigger point you're tying into the fly, so it works quite well. And then all I do from here is I've got some UV thin in the loon, just to coat over the top of the eyes and just to finish everything off in place. This might be signing it doesn't want to come out either. Always away. Come on. No, I usually made that. You have to work this around, that's all. I'm just working this around the eyes, a little bit behind them, just so that nothing gets in behind them with the teeth or whatever. Coat over the orange, a little bit more into the top. Right. Don't be scared if a little bit goes back onto the winging materials. It just helps hold everything in place. Should do that.
Bloody brilliant.
So basically all I do now is just give it a little bit of a haircut to make sure everything's in place where it needs to be. Just get a little bit of a taper on the belly through to the top wing. Fairly simple, straightforward. Ready to fish.